I made the decision to delete my social media a couple of years ago, and it has been one of the best decisions that I have ever made. I still have YouTube, obviously, and I've also held on to LinkedIn for job hunting, although as I was preparing for this video, it occurred to me that with all the phantom job posts and ghosting that goes on that platform, it really almost isn't even worth it anymore. But Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, and all the rest have gone away. And I have noticed a stark rise in my own mental health and well-being since getting rid of them. In this video, I'm going to talk about that experience, how my life has, in my opinion, improved, and I'm going to make the case for you to give up social media as well and see what kind of a benefit it might give for your life. Hey everyone, welcome to Isaac Talks, where I like to share my opinion on a variety of topics. If the algorithm recommended you this video, I'm glad you're here and appreciate you hanging out. Let's jump in. Everywhere we look these days, there is a screen. Whether in Times Square or our own pockets, screens are around every corner, so much so that we have become a generation that spends more time looking down than we do up. Our phones occupy more of our attention than we sometimes care to admit, and chiefly behind this phenomenon is social media. Social media in its infancy was a fairly simple value proposition. You connect with people like never before and engage in ways that we never thought were possible. But what these apps have become would be unrecognizable if shown to the original dev teams that were creating their very first versions. Where once you saw connections or friends, now we have algorithms funneling content to us that it thinks that we would be interested in. And interested, quote unquote, is the key word here. In my very layman understanding of our physiology, when we say something is interesting, what we're really saying is we derive some level of satisfaction from engaging with that thing, whatever it is. That satisfaction often comes from dopamine, which, again, layman understanding of physiology here, so please give me some rope, which is our brain's way of giving positive feedback to us for whatever it is that we just did. Now, knowing that, let's combine this perspective with the algorithms that we just talked about, as they have now overtaken most of these social platforms today. These computer scripts that were designed by wildly intelligent engineers to funnel quote-unquote interesting content to you exist solely to keep you on a platform for an extended period of time. And companies do this because higher watch time or higher retention and engagement time translates to you viewing more advertisements. And the more advertisements you view, that translates to more money for the company hosting the adverts on their platform, which then later translates to higher revenue that they can show at the next advertiser pitch meeting to bring in another wave of advertising. And this cycle repeats ad infinitum. What we have is a perfect storm for every generation. Young people grew up with screens and apps, so for us it's really like second nature. But older generations face a parallel issue that operates on a similar set of principles to social media, being cable news. And that might be its own video at some point, but for now we'll keep the social media on this one. By preying on the brain's dopamine response pattern, social media companies have become brutally effective at retaining your attention on their platforms, even when you realize you just doom scrolled for an hour and are even unhappy with yourself over it after the fact. Spending all this time on social media can alter the way that we think and perceive the world around us. By training our brains to feed on this never-ending dopamine cycle, our attention spans deteriorate and our critical thinking abilities can very readily atrophy. And I've personally experienced both of these phenomena when I still had all of my social media, and I reckon I'm not alone in that either. These easily spill over into our lives in a variety of ways. Social interactions, where we focus more on our phones than the people we're actually there with, or with our jobs, where we start producing subpar results because we can't focus as effectively as we need to. Once again, speaking from personal experience, and I've dealt with both of these situations happening in not even all that long ago, which was some of the primary reasons why I got rid of my social media. This says nothing, though, of the impact that simple exposure to this kind of technology for such lengths of time can do. For example, excessive intake of blue light has been shown to hinder our ability to sleep. And once you start messing with sleep, pretty much everything else in your life is now fair game to start slipping or even falling apart. And if you've ever had a bad night of sleep or didn't get as much as you want to, you know exactly what it feels like. you're super tired the next day, you struggle to focus, maybe your temper is a little shorter than usual, and you otherwise just have a rough day. But even after all of that, there is another large problem that I think hits younger generations harder than the rest, and that is mental health. Mental health has been brought into the forefront of social discourse over the last several years, rightly so, might I add, and social media's connection to its decline. Never before have we been able to see someone reaching the peaks of their life without seeing the struggles that led there. Seeing a content creator, for example, make money hand over fist without knowing the years of financial stress that it took to build quickly leaves us with the impression that we aren't doing enough for our age. And there's one streamer that I saw recently who openly said on stream that he was on the path to clear $400,000 of revenue in a single month, which to me is a jaw-dropping amount of cash flow. This streamer has essentially found the IRL version of the street sweeper from OG Mercenaries and is taking full advantage of it. Young men might see a fitness creator who is toned to near perfection, but not the years of effort that it took to get there. Likewise, young women see these beautiful creators who are outwardly perfect in their appearance and their fashion, and then they turn and wonder why they aren't like that too. I'm hardly an expert on any of these things, and the impacts on mental health go a lot farther than what I've mentioned here. I included these points, though, to paint a holistic picture of the impact that social media has on us as individuals and as a society. These reasons were my biggest drivers in deleting my own social media, and I'm very happy to say that I have never looked back. And in hindsight, I don't think I realized the improvement that I would see in my own life from getting rid of them, or how quickly that improvement would actually happen. My attention span improved, my social interactions became more natural, and I was generally not as irritable as I used to be. I cut out social media right about the same time that I stopped watching political news content, which I think served in my case as a double benefit in bettering my own temperament and really my just general disposition. Getting rid of social media has also opened the door for my time to be used elsewhere, including creating content for this YouTube channel. And if there's anything I hate, it's watching my friends and my peers losing time from their lives because a screen has monopolized their attention. I believe that we are all made in the image of God. Whether you believe that or not, I believe it to be true. And I believe He made us for more than scrolling on a screen for mere hours and hours on end. So try putting down social media and see how your life would be different without it. A week without scrolling for hours, comparing yourself to somebody else, and just having a break can go a long way in helping you get back on track. Or if you're like me and are tired of social media altogether, then take the plunge and delete them and focus instead on efforts that are more worthy of your time and your attention. That's all I have for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I've been brainstorming video ideas this week, and I've opted to create a few videos that are a roadmap, quote-unquote, of sorts, for the younger version of me, talking about stuff that I wish I knew 10 years ago, and honestly would have saved me a lot of headache if I had learned these lessons sooner. I'm also open to video suggestions from all of you in the comments, so feel free to share your own perspectives and ideas down below, because I'd love to hear from you. Y'all take care, and I'll see you in the next one.